two men will destroy the world for 1,260 days, as often as they desire. These two men will withhold rain, turn water into blood, and striking the earth with plagues. The story of Revelation is a book of apocalyptic prophecies of war, famine, quest, and death, along with rivers turning into blood. The story goes on with Jesus showing John visions of what would happen. During these visions, John sees a seal with 7 wax seals that will be opened by a lamb with 7 horns and 7 eyes. Once open, 7 seals will open, with each having their own unique purpose. After the 7th seal, 7 trumpets with catastrophic events of judgments will rain upon earth. Before the 7th trumpet is blown, John eats a scroll to receive more knowledge. The knowledge he receives is about the 2 men.
And I will appoint my 2 witnesses, and they will prophesy for 1,260 days.
If anyone tries to harm them, fire comes from their mouths, devouring their enemies. This is how everyone who wants to harm them must die. They have the power to shut up the heavens, so that it will not rain during the time they are prophesying. And they will have the power to turn the waters into blood, and to strike the earth with every kind of plague as often as they want. Now, when they have finished their testimony, the beast that comes from the abyss will attack them and overpower and kill them. Their bodies will lie in the public square. The people will celebrate by sending each other's gifts, because these 2 men had tormented them. But after 3.5 days, the breath of life from God entered them, and they stood on their feet. Then they heard a loud voice,
Come up here.
and they went up to heaven in a cloud, while their enemies looked on. At that very hour, there was a severe earthquake, and 1/10 of the city collapsed. 7,000 people were killed in this earthquake, and the survivors were terrified and gave glory to the God of heaven. The 2nd woe has passed. The 3rd woe is coming soon. Who will be the 2 witnesses? Most likely, it will either be Moses, Elijah, or Enoch, because these 3 men have never died. Enoch, Elijah, and Moses doesn't really say anywhere that they died, rather than Enoch walked with God, and it said that he was no more, because God took him away. Elijah mysteriously disappeared after walking with Elisha. While walking together, suddenly a chariot of fire and horses of fire appeared and separated the 2 of them, and Elijah went up to heaven in a whirlwind. Now this part gets a bit confusing, because it says that Moses died, but that God fought Satan for Moses' body. So some people like to proclaim that Moses might be one of the 2 witnesses because of this reason. Some people believe that Enoch and Elijah are, matter of fact, not the 2 witnesses, but rather God gave them the privilege to walk to heaven without death because of how faithful they were to him on earth. The 2 witnesses could also be a symbol of the church. The two witnesses have been interpreted as representing the church or a similar concept to the church. One of the first people to interpret that the two witnesses is a symbol of church was a 4th century composer, Tigonus. He said that the two witnesses represented the church, prophesying by means of the Old and New Testament. Other views on who could be the two witnesses: the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints believe that the two prophets will appear to the Jews in modern-day Israel. Possibly two members of the Quantum of the 12. The Quantum of the 12 is one of the government bodies in the church. The jurisdiction of the Quantum of the 12 was originally limited to the areas of the world outside Zion or its stakes. After these 12 apostles returned from their mission to England, Joseph Smith altered the responsibilities of the Quantum. It was given charge of the affairs of the church under direction of the first presidency. Other denominations of Christianity don't really believe in what LDS believes in. LDS is the odd one out. In the Baha'i faith, they believe the two witnesses are Muhammad, the founder of Islam, and Ali, the son of Abu Talib. They also believe that Muhammad was not the final messenger, and that unlike other denominations of Islam, they believe that there will be another prophet after Muhammad. Cults. Unfortunately, because of these prophecies, many cults have stemmed out from this. Marshall Applewhite, a very known figure in the Heaven's Gates cult. Marshall thought he was one of the two witnesses, along with Bonnie Nettle. In 1970, Marshall Applewhite and Bonnie Nettle claimed that they would be and resurrected before ascending to heaven in a spacecraft. They believed that death was something symbolic. Heaven's Gates belief system was a mixture of Christian and New Age beliefs. They also believed that transforming themselves into immortal external beings by rejecting their human nature, and they would ascend to heaven.
I'm Doe. Some called our partnership T and Doe. That's not my name, but that's how I'm referred to on planet Earth.
While they originally believed that they would ascend to heaven while alive boarding a UFO, they came to believe that the body was merely a container. Basically, they believed their bodies were like vehicles or vessels, and that this wasn't their true final form. On March 26, 1997, deputies of the San Diego County Sheriff's Department found 39 members no longer with us. Chad Daybell and Lori were members of the LDS Church. However, their beliefs slowly diverged from the mainstream of Mormonism. Chad claimed he had visions of the future and lived multiple past lives, prophesied the world would end in July 2020. Lori slowly believed what Chad was saying was the truth. They started their own religious group and committed crimes such as unaliving Lori's 2 children. On May 12, 2023, Lori was found guilty of all charges related to the killings. She was sentenced to life in prison without permissible parole. On May 30th, 2024, Chad was also sentenced to death. I hope you liked this video. Let me know what you think of this new editing style.